Hi guys, welcome back to the next part in my series of Let's Explain. In this part we're going to be taking a look at coils. Now what is a coil? A coil is basically an electrical resistor. Now basically a coil is a piece of wire spanning between two posts. You got the positive of your battery coming up the one post, a length of wire coiled across into the negative post, which goes back into the atomizer, into the threads of the 510 and into the mod, which eventually returns to the negative side of your battery. Now all this coil is doing is the power what is coming up through the positive post. This coil is resisting that power, and the kinetic energy which is being resisted is turned into heat, which eats up your coil and therefore eats up your wick and your cotton and vaporizes your juice. Now the resistance this coil causes is called ohms or resistance, and it's negated by this symbol here. That is the ohms symbol. So the resistance of your coil is the ohms. Now I suggest picking yourself up one of these CoilMaster coiling tools or something similar, because these are a very good way of coiling. But pick one of these up, but I don't want you to use it. Only use the rods what come with it to start with, because I believe if you get used to the way, this is the way we used to coil when I first started. I used to coil around a screwdriver, but this is 2019 now, you don't need to be using screwdrivers when you've got these. So I suggest starting with a 2.5mm bit. The 2.5mm piece what comes with the kit. Just use that for now. The reason why I say this is because this is going to make it so simple that you're not going to understand the fundamentals of coiling. You're better off starting with one of these, get used to coiling on this, and then you can get onto using this once you've mastered the old coiling part of it. Now to start off with, I suggest using just round wire, which is similar to this. I use stainless steel 316 for most of my round wire builds now. And plus, a good thing about this is you can use it in temp control as well, so it's the best of both worlds. And I do like the flavour of this. This is a 24 gauge. I recommend starting around the 24 gauge mark, because that is a good place to start. Not too low on the ohms once you've built a coil, and not too high. It's somewhere in the middle, so the average coil I build comes out to about 0.35 or 0.4, so good place to start. But you can use Canthal or Nichrome 80, whichever you choose. Now, when you first start coiling, there's two routes you can take. You can either go down the contact coil route or the space coil route. Now what you've got to understand is space coils, you can basically put them into your RDA or your RTA and wick them up pretty much straight away and you're good to go. But with a contact coil, there is going to be some hot spots between the contact parts of the coil, which you're going to have to work out by heating it up and strumming it, or basically what we call setting the coil. So contact coil, a little bit of work. Space coil, pretty much good to go as soon as you put it in. What you've got to remember is single coils and dual coils. Now, if this is based on a 0.35 ohm coil, so the single coil would come out at 0.35 ohms, and if you dual coil it, it's going to halve the resistance. So instead of 0.35, it's going to be half of that, which is going to be 0.175 overall. It's still going to be 0.35 ohms each side, but when they're together, it halves the resistance. You must keep that in mind when you're doing single and dual coil. So let's start with the 2.5mm bit. Now the easiest way I find to build a coil is to get your wire, piece of wire, roughly about 4 to 5 inches long. Where this raised bit is here, you want to lay the wire at a 45-degree angle across it and then hold it with your thumb, like so. Now a lot of people count the first wrap, I don't. I go around once to there and then I start counting from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and pull this lead straight. And then what I do is I take it off the rod, spin it round, feed it back onto the rod, and then I pull this one wrap off, like so, and that leaves her with your 8 wraps. Now that's a good place to start, I reckon. 2.5mm bit, 8 wraps. Now this is a contact coil. Now I'm going to show you how to do the same but with spaced. So you lay it across that ridge bit, 45-degree angle, round once, start counting. 1, but this time leave 1 to 2 mil of gap between the coils. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull this lead straight. Now this time, before you take it off, just push it towards the edge and let go. And that gives you the perfect spacing between the coil. So lay it back on the coil the opposite way round and then pull this one wrap off, like so. There you go. It's as easy as that. You got your 8 wrap 2.5mm space coil and your 8 wrap 2.5mm contact coil. Now I suggest when first starting to coil, use a simple deck design, either a 4-post design like this one or the standard velocity deck. I won't go for anything more intrinsic because it's going to mess you up in the long run. Better off starting with a basic deck so you get the gist of what coiling is all about. So the coil you've just built, this is the 8 wrap space coil 2.5mm we've just done. Looking at the coil, you got a leg running off the bottom and a leg running off the top. Now when using these 4-post design decks, you want to have the top leg of the coil closest to the edge of the deck, so that when you put your cotton through, you've got enough room to push your cotton underneath. If you put it the other side of the deck and have the leg coming off the bottom on the edge, then when you come to put the cotton underneath, it's a bit of a tight fit to get through that gap. So that's a little tip you can keep in mind. So just pop your coil in, line it up with the deck, and just screw it down. Like so. And that's basically it. And snip the excess leads off. And then we can check the arms of the coil. Now that is homing in at 0.46 for our 8 wrap 2.5mm stainless steel coil. Now that is a single coil at 0.46. Now if you used to draw that coil up, exactly the same coil on the opposite side, then it would halve that resistance, so it would come in at 0.23. You must keep that in mind. And also to keep in mind is when you're building coils, the wire you choose makes a difference with the ramp up time. Now the ramp up time is when you press the fire button, how long it takes to heat the coil to its full heating capacity. The thing that negates this is the thickness of the wire and how big your coil is. Say you're using this stainless steel wire, 24 gauge. If you do like a 16 wrap coil at 3.5mm diameter, that is going to take way longer to ramp up than a coil of this size. Now you must keep that in mind. The more material you have on your coil, the more ramp up time it's going to take to heat it up. So you've got your coil in your RDA and you're ready to set the coil now. Now as I said before, with a space coil it's pretty much good to go as soon as you put it in. You can just give it one fire, wick it up and off you go. But with a contact coil, or a micro coil as they're called, you've got to work out the hot spots first. So set your mod to a low wattage, and then it's just a case of pinching and pulsing. You want to get yourself a decent pair of tweezers, preferably ceramic on the end, because these, if you do fire the mod while these are touching, it's not going to short out. Obviously, metal tweezers, if you fire the mod when these are touching the coil, it's going to pop the coil, short out and pop the coil. So ceramic ones are the best way to go. So it's just a case of pulsing it. As you can see, you've got hot spots on the outside of the coil. So pinch, pinch and pulse. A good thing to do as well is to strum the coil. Use the back of the tweezers, strum the coil a couple of times, and that pretty much sorts it out straight away. Now you want it to glow from the inside out, as it is, and that's set. That's ready to go, ready to wick up. And that's pretty much it, guys. So that's it for this part. In the next part, we're going to be taking a look at wicking. So keep your eye out for that on my channel. Should be up in the next couple of days. But in the meantime, as always, guys, thanks for watching. And remember, smoking kills, choose life. See you guys.